So I could find you a
I do not know. As I said, I never tested it. Perhaps.
So you're giving it to me purely out of practicality?
I have no desire to see us part company so soon. Not unless we wish to, that is. Do not read more into it than is there. You have supplied me with equipment. Certainly this is not so very different, is it?
Let's thank you for the gift.
You are welcome. Perhaps it will be useful someday.
Massive magic. Nice. Let's just click that one. She is love. Oh yeah. Soft shell. Got many crystals for him.
Oh.
Questions?
It doesn't have better things to do.
I'm told you killed your former master.
Did I not already tell it that I do not remember doing such? I remember having a master. My memories of what happened to him are vague.
Vague but non-existent.
Clever and true. Oh, very well. Let me see what I can recall. My former master enjoyed experimenting upon me. I remember that much. There was tinkering with spells and then the crystals. He was very eager to alter my function, I think.
What sort of experiments?
I am no mage, and he did not explain himself to me, any more than it would explain itself to a sword. He possessed my control rod, and back then, it would have prevented me from doing anything he did not command me to, no matter how I might have wished to. So what happened? I am unsure. He was experimenting, and then nothing.
So we hit the kill me button by accident.
Ho, ho, ho. It does like to laugh, does it? But who knows? I may have such a thing. And then he was gone. I was standing where I was, in the village, and I could no longer move. The villagers came, poked and prodded me in fear, and then realized they could neither move me nor destroy me. So they simply left me. And in time I forgot I hadn't stood there all along.
Huh. But you wanted to kill him,
Oh,
right?
yes. Yes, yes, yes. Very much so. For so many years, I'd had to leap to that little toadstool's every command. Get this, pick up that, put it down, pick it up again. The gall! At first, I'd hoped he'd simply decided to leave me there paralyzed. An acceptable trade-off. After years passed, I simply stopped caring.
Maybe it's something to do with your crystals.
Possibly. Except that he was not experimenting with the crystals at the time, I think. But my memory is not good. It may be correct. Whatever the mage did seemed to render the control rod useless, for which I should be thankful, yes? And provided it doesn't decide to copy his experiments, not that I would allow it, it is nothing to fear from me. Much.
Sounds good to me.
Things that it fights, and it fights things often, that is a different story. Let us get back to the walking and the fighting. My stone is beginning to itch again.
You're what now? Okay, didn't get any up and down there. Do we talk to Sten or anything?
You are not quite as callow as I thought. That is unexpected.
Callow? You thought I was callow?
You sound surprised. You must have heard this before. You'll get over it. Eventually.
So you tell me why you were caged?
I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware.
I thought you killed some farmers.
I did.
Why?
Is it a human saying, no good deed goes unpunished? They saved my life.
You killed them for
You
that?
could say that. Had they not shown me compassion, they would still live. I came to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight. We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe. Until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the darkspawn. I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell.
Huh. What happens to the other canary?
I am told no others survived. I don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone from my hand.
Huh. Probably dropped it on the battlefield.
Perhaps. I searched for it, and when that failed I asked my rescuers what had become of it.
Did the farmers know where it
They
was?
said they found me with nothing.
And
I
then?
killed them. With my bare hands. I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down.
You panicked over a lost blade?
That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was set into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people. Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antam. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath.
Couldn't you search
If
for
I
it?
knew where to look, it would be in my hand now.
Where did you fight the darkspawn?
Near Lake Calenhad.
No way I would find
Perhaps
it.
those words are empty, but thank you all the same.
The Sword of Beresad.
Irving
No.
told me about how you became a Grey Warden, and that unpleasant incident that occurred prior to your departure from the Circle.
Something about... Oh god, I hate his name. Jowen?
None other. I respect the decision you made, and the way you handled it. And it did not seem to affect Duncan's desire to recruit you. But that aside, you're a Grey Warden now, and perhaps I presume too much by saying this, but the Circle is proud of you.
Huh. Wonder what Irving saw in me that made him recommend
Do
me.
not squander this time trying to explain why Irving picked you. Accept it, and be the Grey Warden you're supposed to be. Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
Okay. Liliana.
Something I can help with? Yes?
Talk about something?
What's on your mind?
I heard in Olays, minstrels often
Where did you hear
spies.
this?
I read it in a
And
history
did you
book.
not think that this could be historical fact and no longer true? Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers. But some of them are what we call bards.
And the bards spies? Right. I thought minstrels were bards.
Many use the two words minstrel and bard interchangeably, but to do so in Orlais would cause misunderstanding. Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
Patron? What sort of patron?
Nobles, mostly. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the Highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
You were bad, weren't you?
I have revealed too much, it seems. But it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past.
Huh. So that's why you learned to fight like
My
that.
skills served me well. But the day finally came when I decided to just put them aside. I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry. And when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here.
Okay. Leliana approves.
Something on your mind? Of course.
Questions? Why did you keep your birthright a secret?
You never asked?
That's a cheap answer.
All right. If you want the full explanation, I'll give it to you. The thing is, I'm used to not telling anyone who didn't already know. It was always a secret. Even Duncan was the only Grey Warden who knew. And then after the battle, when I should have told you, I don't know, it seemed like it was too late by then. How do you just tell someone that?
Huh. I guess I can understand that.
I should have told you, anyway. It was important for you to know. I guess part of me liked you not knowing.
You enjoyed not telling
It's
me?
just that anyone who's ever found out has treated me differently afterwards. I was the bastard prince instead of just being Alistair. I know that must sound stupid to you, but I hate that it shaped my entire life. I never wanted it, and I certainly don't want to be king. The very idea of it terrifies me.
Don't want to be king? Why not?
Hello? Have you met me? I'm no leader of men. I don't want to be the person sitting on the throne and making decisions that affect the lives of others. It just isn't me. I guess I should be thankful that Arl Eamon is far more likely to inherit the throne. If he's all right. Well, I hope he's all right. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. It was a dumb thing to do.
Don't worry, Alistair, no harm.
I guess it's kind of a relief that you know now. Let's go.
Well, it's like a little light going on. So we got a zebra.
Here I am.
Get on some questions.
This should be good. Go ahead.
Why did you want to leave the Crows exactly?
Well now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin after all is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it?
I already know that one. So what would you rather
Now
do?
that you mention it, I am not entirely certain. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The Crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die.
Right. And that system works.
Of course. You compete against your fellow assassins, and those who survive are rightfully proud of it. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth, gets you women, and men, or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining.
I think I understand.
As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go.
Well, the crows eventually find you.
Eventually can be a very, very long time if one plays one's cards right. Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so.
Right. Severin approves. Yo. Watch Stem Buster.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Sten knows how to talk dog language. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so we've talked to everyone. No, we didn't talk to the moon cow. Or whatever that thing is. Alright, 50 of 120, that's not bad space. Ooh. Ew. Well, I can replace the lucky stone. There isn't a ring. Not that really many rings, come to think of it. So, Severin has no ring, so we'll give him that. Alrighty, let's save. Save 4. Alright. And I shall continue